Morningstar came out and said that SpaceX is overvalued and that people should buy at their own risk. You see a lot of noise in the news about SpaceX being overvalued, and you don't hear a lot about the deep dive into what they do and what they have coming down the pipeline and how they could bring value to investors. So it was our desire today to share that with you and give you an idea of what to invest in, or maybe when to hold back and invest a little bit later. Do you have any initial thoughts on this?
Yes, I think Morningstar is really just looking at the fundamentals. It's looking at sales, earnings, and they're thinking that the company should not be valued as high as it is right now. Now, usually what happens with a IPO, especially if it's a hot IPO like SpaceX, they will go up usually considerably more than you paid for it at the IPO price. And historically, what I've witnessed over the last 35 plus years is that sometimes as early as weeks, but definitely by months, they usually will come back around close to the IPO price, and sometimes you can end up buying them later below the actual IPO price. So I think what's happening, Grayson, is that Morningstar is just looking at the fundamentals of the company, and based on that, they're overvalued.
Yeah, what I'll usually tell clients who ask me about IPOs is I generally like to stay away from them, because you look at popular IPOs like DoorDash or like Robin Hood back in the 2020, 2021 area, you'll see, people had a lot of expectations about them and they shot up for the first week or the first few days, and then what you'll see is they usually will sell off very hard. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see this exact same thing with SpaceX. So with them being the hottest IPO basically ever, them hitting $2.4 trillion within the first week of them going public, do you think that there's room for them to grow right now, or do you think that they're going to have a little bit of a sell-off before we see things start to turn around for them?
I think they will have a sell-off. You'll start seeing a consolidation in the price. And I think as earnings start coming in, as they start seeing more and more increase in sales growth, what you'll start seeing is the price will start going back up. I believe it's got the possibility of doing well over the long term.
I think so too, and really the reason for that is just nobody else is doing what they're doing. You look at Starlink, which is the reason why they went public. They've got something that they're able to make a lot of money off of that nobody else is doing. I mean, think about it. You can be in the middle of the Sahara desert with nobody for miles around, and as long as you've got a little bit of electricity and all the Starlink equipment, you can hook up to the internet and scroll on Facebook or do whatever you want. And they've got that for the military, and that's their groundbreaking technology that they're making a lot of money on right now. But they've got other things that are in the pipeline as well, talking about putting data centers in space, talking about reusable rockets. These things are game-changing technologies. Do you think that they might be worth what the hype is saying that they're worth right now if they're able to get even one of those to get going?
It possibly could. We live in southeast Georgia, and southeast Georgia is a rural part of Georgia, so it's not like you're living in Atlanta or Savannah or even Augusta. What we have, like with us, is so many dead zones as far as cell phone usage. And so, something like satellite cell phone service is just a game changer for people, because there's so many rural areas throughout all the United States, throughout all the world. If you can have internet service in the Sahara Desert, I mean, that's something that is going to draw a lot of interest.
I think one thing that we should touch on before we end this video is that this launch and this company has made Elon Musk richer than Bill Gates and Warren Buffett combined. So the question is, if it's been able to do this for him, obviously it's not going to make you into a trillionaire, but does this have the capability to make an early investor wealthy?
Yes, it does. I mean, if you look at it, if you would have bought in Tesla at the very beginning, where you would be today. So I think it definitely has that possibility. Also, I wouldn't bet against Elon Musk. He's been very successful with everything that he has put his hands on. So I think it does have a possibility of making people a lot of money. You just got to wait it out. You got to wait out the ups and downs of the market and just be in it for the long haul. We are not long or short SpaceX stock. So our opinion today is not based on either being long or being short. We just believe that it possibly could make investors over a long time, it can make them above average return on their investment.
So until next time, may God richly bless you.